morning. My name is Tana Zwart. I am co-chair of the ADA Festival. We are celebrating 35 years of the Americans with Disabilities Act this year. This law was signed on July 26, 1990, and protects the rights of people with disabilities. It makes it illegal to discriminate, but also sets a mandated standard for access throughout all parts of our society. It was a very hard-won piece of legislation, fought for largely by advocates with disabilities themselves. The ADA has made life bigger for millions of Americans. It's allowed for participation and contribution in all aspects of daily life. It was a catalyst for so many commonplace things in our society that create ease of living for everybody, not just for those who have a disability. I grew up in a very small town and remember visiting Minneapolis frequently as a teenager and experiencing buildings that had accessible entrances and bathrooms that I could use and get into, and event spaces that had specific areas for mobility devices. There was intentionality and not an afterthought or no thought at all. And then to see how that has slowly become more prominent everywhere has been pretty amazing to see. 35 years is not that long ago. Vicki, who is here with me today, and I, and generations of others, knew what life was like prior and how long it took for things to really start changing around us. So it's important for all of us to look at what it took to get to where we are today and how we keep building on that momentum and have access at the forefront of all of our minds all of the time. Because when it works for disability, it works for everybody. And we are a much stronger society when we can all contribute and have a seat at the table. So we're using this festival to celebrate all of those things and to continue that conversation. A year ago, Vicki and I and a wonderful committee of people started planning this big celebration, and we knew that we wanted the entire community involved, and what better place than a venue that has community in its DNA. We are so grateful to the wonderful people at the Levitt and their help in imagining this event with us, but also our sponsors. We wouldn't be able to do it without them. So with all of that said, I'll turn it over to Vicki and she'll give you more details.
Thank you, Tana. I'm Vicki Stewart. I'm also a co-chair of the ADA Festival with Tana. I was in college when the ADA was passed. So when I went to high school, the buses weren't wheelchair accessible. Growing up, going to movie theaters, they didn't have cutouts for me to sit, and parks didn't have accessible trails. That's why I have been so passionate about advocating for people with disabilities so they can fully participate in all aspects of society. We encourage the community to join us Saturday night at the Levitt at the Falls for an incredible event. We will have interactive booths, vendors, activities, food trucks, and performances by artists with disabilities. The first two performers are local, including Holly Vandenberg, and a collaboration between Lifescape and Black Hills Playhouse. Better Ride from Aberdeen will be the opening act, and the headliner is Johnny Wheels and the Swamp Donkeys from the Pacific Northwest. Join us starting at 5 p.m. We want the whole community to be a part of this event to celebrate and reflect on how far we've come as a community and the vital role people with disabilities play in it. Before the festival on Saturday, we are hosting a free lunch and learn event Friday at Startup Sioux Falls. We encourage people to bring their own lunch and learn about ADA employment and access. I will be a part of the panel alongside former Governor Dennis Dugard, Richard Crawford, a motivational speaker who is blind, Christopher Cardona, a professor at Augustana University who is deaf, and the panel will be moderated by Amber Mulder, a senior assistant city attorney with the city of Sioux Falls. Join us starting at noon on Friday. We are looking forward to celebrating 35 years of the Americans with Disabilities Act with the entire community Saturday at Levitt at the Falls. With that, we'll take any questions you may have.
Yeah, so 35 years, we all feel like we've come so far. But what's the biggest barrier you find today in terms of just getting around Sioux Falls on a daily basis?
You know, I think transportation is a big issue still, as far as having accessible transportation and getting people with disabilities to employment on time and to different appointments on time. We're definitely making strides, but I think it's a work in progress.
Do you want to see more from paratransit, or where can we make those improvements? Is it infrastructure? What is it?
I think it's across the board.
Even rideshare, there aren't many rideshare options. So even if public transportation is accessible, it only goes to a certain time. So it makes it hard to go to concerts and be social later in the evening.